Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
And what is going on, and how are you guys all doing once again? This is the Club of the Man 1993 again, catching up on some more baseball news as we're going to check out some injuries that have happened at the beginning of the season. We're going to try to stay away from like the minor ones and get more to like some of the more major ones. Again, just like the transactions video, we're trying to save a little bit of time here. So I'm going to stick to, there's 14 of them still, but I'm going to stick to the more major injuries. There was some also on the list that I had listed that actually have recovered from their injuries and they are back. But these are the ones that are still out, and most of these are long-term. Some pretty big names and some guys that are just not having the best luck, and I think are officially to me injury prone. But let's roll into this first one. Now, the first one, I do apologize. I didn't realize that I completely forgot that Anthony DeSclafani is actually now a member of the Twins and no longer the Giants. He was the Giants last year, but then he was traded to the Mariners in the Mitch Haniger and Robbie Ray trade. And then after that, he was then traded to the Twins in the Jung trade as well. So my mistake on doing that. But it was announced back on March the 30th that DeSclafani will miss the entire 2024 season and a small portion of the 2025 season as he underwent surgery on a flexor tendon. The surgery apparently has an estimated recovery time of 13 to 15 months. He developed a forearm strain in spring training, and a long-term absence of some kind was expected as the Twins placed him on a 60-day DL. With his flexor tendon procedure, though, the timeline is associated with similar to recovery time for Tommy John surgery. So that's why they expect to be not ready until maybe like May or June of next year. It's a shame though, because of course when DeSclafani is healthy, he's definitely one of the more underrated pitchers for sure, I would say. He has a 4.20 ERA over 492 and 2/3 career innings with the Marlins, Reds, and Giants over parts of 9 big league seasons. He also, of course, had his best year with a 3.17 ERA and 167 2/3 of the innings with the Giants in 2021. And then, of course, though, he ends up tossing only 118 innings over the stint of the contract he had whenever he signed that 3-year deal with the Giants after that 2021 season. So he's bounced around a wee bit since, but, you know, it sucks for sure. A big loss for the Twins, but just hoping that, you know, he'll be able to contribute next year whenever he is healthy again. Probably May or June, I'd say, of next season. We'll be seeing DeSclafani pitch again, probably for the Twins. The Rangers had some bad news. They lost their sophomore third baseman Josh Jung for quite a while. He was originally placed on the 10-day injury list and was given a time of 8 to 10 weeks as he was hit by a pitch in the wrist and needed wrist surgery in just his 4th game of the season this year. However, though, it was mentioned just the other day that Jung will now face an even longer absence, likely at least until the start of July or even the All-Star break. Of course, it'll be another 3 to 4 weeks of baseball activities and minor league rehabs before he can be activated from the injured list. He will not know, though, how much sooner he'll be able to start for another 10 to 14 days, which this was back on May the 18th with this update. Again, he did suffer an injury that I think did hurt him from seeing some time in the playoffs as well, whenever the Rangers won the World Series as well. But he definitely had a very strong rookie campaign, and definitely a good power-hitting third baseman that the Rangers could definitely use in their lineup. But it looks like he will be out probably at least till maybe the All-Star break. So that sucks, as the Rangers could deal with some more injuries. That, and again, some of their pitchers that were out for at least half of the year, if not all the year, like Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom. So this is a big loss to them as well. For the Guardians, they unfortunately lost their ace, Shane Bieber, for the year, as he underwent Tommy John surgery back on April the 6th. He also he had an injury-shortened 2023 campaign. He was limited to just 128 innings, missing 2.5 months due to elbow inflammation as well. So definitely he's been dealing with the injury bug for the past 2 years and whatnot. And that's going to be out for the entire 2024 season, which that's definitely a big loss for the Guardians. Even though that people knew he was hurt, he still got the opening day spot in the lineup. But now again, he will have 12 to 18 months until we definitely see Shane Bieber once again. So that's a big loss there for the Twins. Even bigger loss, not just for the Braves. I'm sorry, Shane Bieber's with the Guardians. But this one really sucks. Spencer Strider, the Braves ace, maybe the best pitcher today. Back on April the 13th, he suffered some sort of a UCL damage, and he had a brace surgery, which apparently is not as serious as Tommy John. It's still going to be long enough that Strider's going to miss the entire season for sure. Strider, again, has definitely become one of the best pitchers in the league. And again, this will not be put on hold. He probably, again, will not return until the beginning of 2025 as well. Well, maybe just like very similar to DeSclafani, but he could be out maybe till like May or June of 2025. But yeah, just when he was, he's just becoming like, that Cy Young caliber pitcher, leading a very, very stacked Braves roster. Then he gets this news like that. That just totally blows for Spencer Strider. That's horrible. I feel bad for him. But hopefully he will recover and he will be well and back to form next year in 2025. For the White Sox, Luis Robert Jr., after having a full breakthrough year last year, despite missing about 20 games due to an injury, unfortunately is on the injured list again. And this time due to a grade 2 hip flexor strain. And the latest is saying that he could be back like around this time. He's been on the injured list though since April the 8th or the 6th, one of the two. But he's someone else who he always has some sort of an injury that seems to always halt his momentum. He's been touted for a couple of years now as a guy, like, when they give him the opportunity, he can be one of the best players in the league. And I do believe it, to be honest. But injuries have definitely, hurt him. I think he even got some towards the end of last season as well, which limited his last month or so of the season. Imagine what numbers he could have put on if he was fully healthy there. Hopefully we'll see him, though, soon. It would say you maybe have a lengthy absence, but he could be back as soon as, within the next couple of weeks before the end of the month. We'll have to wait and see, though. So we got that one. What else do we got? Oh! Speaking of from the White Sox to the Red Sox, Trevor Story's story with the Boston Red Sox has not gone his way so far. For a second year in a row, he suffers another injury, and this time it's already a season-ending shoulder surgery on his labrum, as well as an internal fixation with a fracture of his glenoid rim as well. Even last year when Story first came to the Red Sox, it's not really worked out for him right now. He's definitely hitting the injury-prone bug for sure. Just have to hope for the best for him for next year as well. Hopefully he can recover. This one, I got a couple things to say about this one. So Kris Bryant is hurt again as well. Back on April the 17th, he was placed on the injured list that was retroactive to April 14th due to a lower back strain. He's not been reported back yet. Don't know when the timetable is for his return. But Kris Bryant is someone that, man, like you look at the guy and you just think back to when he was with the Cubs and just the future he had. The fact that I thought this man could have been a freaking Hall of Famer. And now look where he's at now. I mean, yes, I still think the Cubs put him in weird spots towards the top of the lineup. He should be a guy hitting third or fourth. And then he signs this 7-year deal with the Rockies. And you think, oh man, maybe he's going to finally get his form back since he's in Colorado. And he's going to just mash the thin air and whatnot. Unfortunately, it just hasn't been the case because Bryant's been dealing with injury after injury after injury since he's come to Colorado. And then also he was in the news a few months ago because apparently he was interviewed about his time in Colorado. He basically implied that he felt pressured to sign a new deal and he kind of rushed the idea of whether he should come with Colorado or not. Kind of showing a little bit of resistance and showing that maybe he truly isn't happy with where he picked. I mean, the Rockies have definitely been one of the worst teams for quite a while, so I can understand that, but still. It sounds like Mr. Bryant didn't quite put in the time that he probably should have put in before he signed with the Rockies. But yeah, he's on the injured list again. Darvish for the Padres is also injured as well. He was placed on the injured list back on April the 17th due to tightness in his neck. There really has not been any updates yet when he could be back. He, of course, started off the season with 5 solid starts with a 4.18 ERA. A little bit low on the strikeout rates, but he's still, solid with his performances as well. But it could be a bit, of course, till we do see Darvish back as well, too. We got that one. The Mets lost their young catcher, Francisco Alvarez, for about 8 weeks after having thumb surgery on April 23rd to repair the UCL tear in his thumb. Which again, this is at the longer end of a timeline, which the team provided last week. This is a big loss for the Mets. He's definitely an upcoming star as well. Probably one of the best power hitting catchers, of course, in the league. So hopefully he gets a nice recovery, but it probably will be another several more weeks. Since it was 8 weeks back in mid-April whenever he first got the surgery and got diagnosed. Another guy who's just severely unlucky is Anthony Rendon. The guy who signs this big 7-year deal, and this is the 4th consecutive year, of course, of this contract, and it's the 4th consecutive year where he has a significant injury, which is a partial tear in his left hamstring. Last I read, timetable to be return is late June. But even so, again, he just has not had any luck with the Angels. In parts of 5 years with the Halos, he has played in just 219 career games, unfortunately. And, right now they have Miguel Sano filling in for him, but still, it's like this man just cannot catch a break. Once a highly touted MVP caliber prospect for the Nationals, really got it on whenever he was healthy with the Nationals. It also helped lead the Nationals to their first World Series in 2019. He leaves and goes to the Angels, and then it's just been downhill since completely for him. Now, as much as that sucks, though, this one, oh my goodness. Mike Trout a few weeks ago, I think it was on April 30th, apparently had suffered a torn meniscus. And he had surgery. And my gosh, how many years in a row, besides the shortened 2020 season, has Mike Trout been having injury-shortened seasons? Like, that's, like, hampering him. Because ever since he got to, like, the 300s or homers, it's like he was well on pace to hit 500 home runs. And when he's been healthy, he's still raking them. He's still, like, did he hit, like, what, 40 home runs, like 115 games a couple years ago? He still has it. He can still, swing the bat like he did when he first came up over 10 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long already. But I guess I heard the prognosis for his surgery, since it's just a meniscus tear, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, which is not bad, but, you kind of want to just see the guy just get, a full year under his wing again. That would probably be a better feel-good moment. But hopefully he comes back soon. We also have Trea Turner, the Phillies shortstop, who also is going to be out for a minimum of 6 weeks, apparently, with a left hamstring strain, and apparently it is a significant one as well, which is again leading to him being gone for 6 weeks as well, which sucks for the Phillies, but they still have plenty of bats in there to battle, I feel like. Then we have Cardinals catcher Willson Contreras missing about 10 weeks with surgery to stabilize the fracture in his forearm. And yeah, it looks very, very rough. He's also part of a Cardinals lineup that has been struggling, especially him and veteran stars like Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado are still struggling as well. There are still some names for this Cardinals staff that are great, but they're also, like many other teams, are kind of in a rebuilding stage. And of course, grabbing someone like Contreras was great for business, but so far it's been a little bit of a rough one for him as well. But we'll see what happens when he gets back. Hopefully his is as long as expected. And then finally, to end the string of bad news, the Giants rookie Jung Lee unfortunately had to end his season this past Friday when he had a labrum tear that he had to get surgery on. And he will be out for quite a while as well. Of course, he was definitely one of the big international names that came over to the United States. And he was doing not bad so far as a leadoff guy. But yeah, now, of course, he suffered the injury. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. Hopefully, though, he'll be able to make up for it in his sophomore campaign, as he hopefully will. And that, my friends, that is the some injury updates on some Major League Baseball players. Again, trying to stick to just some of the more significant ones. What are you guys' thoughts on these injuries? Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And also be sure to always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content to come on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of the Man 93. You may also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later and have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!